Excuse me.
I'm not giving to LeBron because I don't like LeBron.
I like him already.
On the stat sheet, so like taking charges, like that's my favorite thing. I like a charge in my mixtape. My friend texted me, he's like, I never seen someone put a charge in the mixtape. I'm like, defense wins games. Like,
so there was a constant battle about Dunkin' Donuts versus Tim Hortons, and it was it's never ending.
I got up, I fixed my helmet, I look, and I just see Herb take off. Like he just, I just see the hair flowing. Like now, going running, and yeah, you got to see Herb when he runs. His eyes are always like, so I just knew, like I knew he was running. So
he's your life. Like, go out there, defend, go out there, rebound, like, give your heart, like, sacrifice. You can get a scholarship just for defense. You know what I'm saying?
But, man, this guy's unstoppable when it comes to basketball as well. But yeah, definitely one-on-one, he got me.
Fried rice, you can't be eating fried rice all the time. But
you'd be switching your sports. You'd be going from basketball to sumo.
I know. I already got the bun, you see?
How the spider tech basically is just like completely just crazy, like should not be allowed. Rosin and sunscreen and everything, that's been around forever and it's never been a true problem. But right now, like the big thing is spin rates are up.
It's our defense because Mace, you're gonna get 285, 280 hit you, and you gotta, and I'm only 240, so I got to bring my technique. And then KT's just a freak athlete in itself, so you gotta bring your hard hat and your lunch pail every day.
Can I just say this? Man, I just love your competitive nature, bro. Like, I feel like I'm ready to strap on the jersey right now, man. I'm only 5'5", so I don't know what I can do.
I'm gonna say Diana, man. I don't know what it is. She just always seems to come up clutch all the time, 24/7.
When they say, listen, you know how as coaches you get mad at the guy just standing in the corner and watching another guy cook. I can't be like that because I was watching you cook.
Running, it's like if you take a day off, like you'll feel it, and if you take 4 months off, you're really gonna feel it.
It was impeccable. So watching certain highlights, I'm like, yo, I gotta try it. And trust me, not everything was as good as it looked now. Because no look passes I threw off of somebody's face.
Charles, where do we begin?
Man,
upsets.
It's been very interesting.
Upsets all over the place. College football. App State absolutely took control of that Coastal Carolina game. Who else? Who else was
man
an upset? Iowa State over Oklahoma State.
Listen, you guys have been talking about, and I say you guys, you and Reese, we're talking about this Michigan State team, man.
I'm telling you,
something's going on. Oh my gosh. And I'm just excited for the 25 teams that are in contention right now. Cincinnati's, I'm looking at them right now. They had a big win over the Navy. So I'm ready to talk about college football because I got a couple teams lined up.
Was that really a big win though? Navy's not the Navy
right,
Malcolm Perry. Malcolm Perry was phenomenal. I'll continue to say that until my face turns blue. Malcolm Perry was an absolute dynamic quarterback there. Even looking at Miami pulled up out of nowhere and beat NC State by 1.
Yeah. These teams are coming out, man. This whole season has been exciting.
It is
in college football, man. In the NFL, man, what's going on? What's going on with the Chiefs?
The Chiefs are the Chiefs. I said it before. Pat Mahomes, his brother, and I think his wife. They're a distraction. They're a distraction, and it's gonna continue to be that way as long as Jackson Mahomes is in the picture. And I don't think that should really affect a quarterback like Pat Mahomes. But at the same time, he's not getting much help on offense.
And
the defense really isn't there. And maybe this is just a down year for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and it happens. It just makes teams stronger the next year. And I know you're torn between this week's matchup with the Patriots.
I'm absolutely not torn. I'm not worried about anything.
Come on, Mac
Justin
Jones.
Herbert,
Come on, Mac Jones.
coming off the bye week after that terrible loss to Baltimore. I am all set. Take it right now. Chargers by 1 million.
I can't wait till the Patriots prove you wrong, brother.
That's all right. I'll wait. It's not gonna happen. But anyways, we have Super Bowl 37 champion quarterback Brad Johnson.
Man,
this team was stacked to the gills.
Yes.
Stacked. And I think it's funny that, looking back in the day, I don't think they even do it anymore. When a player has the same last name, they put the first initial.
Yeah.
Him and Keyshawn, you got the B and the K.
The B and the K, right.
I don't know. That team, they called that the Gruden Bowl. And that was special. Insane, especially seeing what that Buccaneers team did back then to the Raiders. Yeah. And I mean, the Raiders, people are talking about them right now. I don't know. We'll see if they can turn around. Let's go ahead and get Mr. Brad Johnson on here.
Let's go.
Big Bad Brad here. Back by popular demand. Corner pocket, second pull. Doink!
Wow. Two things I have to ask and request of you. Can I get a doink, and do we call you Big Bad Brad?
Doink!
Yeah.
You got it. Big Bad Brad, back by popular demand.
There it is.
Popular on
I see
the
you
East
still
Coast,
got an
popular on
arm.
the West Coast, and everywhere in between. So I appreciate those highlights. Thank you. We've had a little fun with the nickname, on TikTok. So it's been fun.
I mean, you're blowing up on TikTok. You're a TikTok phenom. What do you call them? A rising star. Well, a re-rising star.
Yeah. I've had fun with that kind of stuff. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's crazy with the whole TikTok thing. During that pandemic last year, everybody's sitting at home, and my kids, we had nothing to do. We were working out, and that's about all we were doing the whole time. But then my kids got on TikTok, and they started doing all these dances and all that kind of stuff. But I got no rhythm. They wouldn't let me be a part of the family dance and stuff. So it took me a while. So, but I started getting on there, and then I made a bunch of highlights early. If you scroll to the very beginning of my page, and did a lot of workout videos or highlight videos of my career, the good and the bad, and all the above. It's kind of neat to kind of put it in chronological order, and basketball videos and all that kind of stuff. And then last year I started doing these doinks, starting against the goalpost and all those kind of things. Had fun with it, and then started doing all these trick shots. And kind of been fun. So sometimes I tell people that's first time, first take, and sometimes I'm out there for 3 or 4 hours doing it. So but it's been pretty fun. I got the hat. Just so everybody knows what's going on with the hat, just let you know here real quick. So it's this hat was given to me after the Super Bowl, and I haven't worn it for 20 years, to be honest with you. And I found it out. I was wearing it one day. It says Big Bad Brad. That's my nickname. That actually has the logo, Super Bowl 37, and then on the nickname on the back was the Bull. That was my nickname in the pros. And but I started doing it. We actually, you always see me hit these shots at the very end of the deal, and I hold the hat at you. But we're actually going to raise some money. I got some merchandise going. We're going to put it out there here pretty soon. And we've got a store set up so everybody can have fun with it, and all the money to go to charity. So that's what that's been all about.
Awesome. Once you get that link, once you get everything up, you make sure you send it over to us. We'll blast it all over the place.
Yeah,
and we'd love to be a part of that to help raise money for charity.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's always a good thing.
I appreciate it. It's going to be it's off cafepress.com/BigBadBrad14. All the money will go to Beyond All Borders. That's what it goes to. It's one of my charities. So that's what it's all about.
Beautiful.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Charles, you want to start it off?
Let's get it going.
Right.
Let's start off fresh. I'm pretty sure you're watching some football. Give me your top 5 quarterbacks in the game right now.
Man, I mean, the guy that's been legendary is, obviously Tom Brady. It's amazing. If you can't go without a conversation without him, 44 years old, been to 10 Super Bowls, won 7, lost 3, went to 4 other AFC championship games. So their team's 5-1 or 6-1 right now. It's pretty amazing. And obviously Aaron Rodgers, and everybody hears all those names. But I think, for me, there's a couple fun names, a couple of these young guys to keep up with. Obviously, Kyler Murray, his team's 7-0. Probably doesn't get a lot of talk sometimes because he's on the West Coast out there in Arizona. And Justin Herbert, phenomenal player. Your guy, the Oregon Ducks out there. Cristobal got him right. But he's amazing talent. But then, everyone talks about Mahomes and all that kind of. They're struggling a little bit right now, but went to AFC Championship game with 2 Super Bowls. But a guy that I love watching play too now is Josh Allen up in Buffalo. Tough kid, came from nowhere, no scholarship offers, that kind of thing. Went to Wyoming, big body. Not many guys can be successful in Buffalo. It's really strange. It's just whether it's the weather or whatever it is, but Buffalo has a fun team for me to watch, and so it's awesome. And then obviously Lamar Jackson. So there's a bunch of great quarterbacks right now. A bunch of greats. Yeah, I tell people, all the time. And back in the '80s, it was, you got your Dan Marinos and John Elways, and it goes to different eras of Troy Aikmans and Steve Youngs, and then it goes to Peyton Mannings and all those kind of people. But I think the game has gotten better. Players have gotten better. Systems have gotten better, and so it's just fun to watch how the growth of the game is going. I remember it used to be a big deal if you completed over 60%. Now you got, I think there was only one quarterback last year that was below 60. You had 5 guys above 70. So it's fun to watch these guys play.
That's crazy. And that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. Do you see the quarterback play right now in this era compared to when you were playing and even before you? Do you see the difference and the possible, I guess, protections that they're having now? Because, you guys back in the day, you used to get rocked. Absolutely rocked. Not a flag. Now it's like you look at Tom Brady barely getting touched. He's the GOAT, obviously, but they're throwing a flag. Do you see the difference there?
Yeah, great is great, So if you're great in the 80s, you were at the top of your game. The Dan Marinos and Troy Aikmans and John Elways and Phil Simms, they were the greats. Roger Staubachs. And then it kind of goes on, Yeah. So great is great. And I don't think the game has changed. So I think systems have gotten better. Players have gotten better. But you get these kids that played, it used to be shotgun. What is shotgun? Can you snap it back there? How can you snap it? That's more like a punt. Now you can find some quarterbacks that have never taken a snap from underneath center. And so the game has changed. It's not wing tee football anymore. It's really fast break on grass is what it is. And so this whole thing as far as RPOs has changed the game. Getting guys out in space has changed the game. So it's unique. And then the rules have changed too, So the way you can hit quarterbacks, those are the money makers. If I'm a fan, I want to see points scored, honestly. That is kind of like NBA. Like they don't play zone defense in the NBA. They want to see dunks, fast breaks, spread it out. They got to shoot threes wide open. And that's kind of what it's about entertainment, and it's about keeping your superstars healthy. And then, honestly, the other part is keeping players healthy. So I don't believe in, the targeting thing. I don't think you should, especially in college, I'll be honest with you. In college, I don't think they should throw a guy out for targeting. And if he's had 2 in a game or something like that, I think it's a terrible rule to throw a kid out. And then it's a game changer because you lose a player, those kind of things. But player safety is a big issue. And, hopefully they're not taking cheap shots on these receivers going across the middle and those kind of things. And quarterbacks, you got to keep those guys healthy. There's a limited group of guys. So numbers are different, so don't compare numbers from eras. But so it's fun to watch.
How do you feel about the taunting? How do you feel about the taunting rule that they just put in place?
What they put in place? Tell me about it.
Taunting. It's if you get caught over exaggerating a celebration, they're going to throw a flag and they're going to call a playback. And I know in college football, it's more relegated now, but they're adding that into this was one of the new rule implications with the NFL.
Yeah.
Are you a big fan of taunting penalties?
I think these referees need to chill a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there could be a certain rule that's applied, okay? But sometimes I think your discretion matters. You know what I mean? Now, if you're in a guy's face and you're flicking him off and you're letting him have the business, then that's taunting. But if you're kind of doing your own little dance and that kind of thing, I think you need to let it go. You know, let it go. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So I think just using discretion for the referees is a big deal instead of like sticking by the book. Like it's hard. And some of those guys, they got egos too now. So it's a critical penalty flag sometimes is thrown and I think knowing the time and situation of the game matters too for those referees.
Yep. Brad, let's bring it back a little bit. Talk about a little bit about your upbringing. Talk about how this all began.
Yeah. I grew up in Black Mountain, North Carolina, small town near Asheville, North Carolina. My dad ran summer camps for boys and girls Christian camps, and it was anywhere from horseback riding, archery, shooting baskets, swimming in the lake, canoes, and all the above. And so I grew up with someone to always play with. Grew up in camps. People are paying to go to camps, and I lived at the camp. You know what I mean? So, and played football, baseball, basketball as a kid growing up, and loved it. Played basketball every day of my life, from second grade all the way through my freshman year of college. I ended up playing college basketball at Florida State also, and Black Mountain was my town. I'm very proud of it. That's where Brad Doherty, another basketball player. He was one of my heroes. I got to kind of follow at my high school at Owen High School, and a guy named Roy Williams, for those Carolina basketball fans. He used to coach at my high school too. So grew up a basketball nut, and that's kind of how I grew up, though. Black Mountain, North Carolina.
And can you go ahead and tell us what's in your ping pong area? Your ping pong room. You got who? Who do you have hanging up on the wall?
Career, so you're in my ping pong room here, okay?
Oh, wow.
I still got some childhood posters.
Wow.
Okay, there, and I've kind of turned. There's the big banner from the Super Bowl. Then you see all the helmets that I played for. I played for a lot of different teams, and then there's Larry Bird. There he is.
Hey, number 33.
Those are life size, So these are all my footballs and stuff on the wall. So I don't know if you can see my ping pong room. So I've had a lot of battles in this room right here. So this is our instantaneous live tonight. So you're in my ping pong room. So have
especially with young kids, ping pong is crazy.
It's a great game.
I played with some of my stepbrothers, and I'm like, I can't even compete with them. I thought I was good, but it turns out I'm awful.
Yeah, you'll never see a heavy set person that's a really good ping pong player.
Yeah. I mean, right. Is that a shot? Is that a shot?
No, if you play, if I want to lose some weight or get active, I go in here. It's like a sauna in here, man. It's sweating everywhere and stuff. So my kids and I, we've had some battles. I don't know if you can see I don't know if you can see those things against the wall over there. Can you see the belts? Those are we made some homemade belts. I can't get over here.
So really get active.
So you win. You put your name on the belt, and you get to.
I like that.
I feel like you're Ric Flair running around the house. Woo! Yeah, that's right. Limousine driving, awesome. Jet flying.
Yes, yeah. Oh man, that's great. So I believe it's been 13 years now since you've been retired, correct?
Yep.
Sure 13 years. You hear a lot of athletes that have retired, and they've always talked about how it takes them a little while to really get used to being retired, and because you put your blood, sweat, and tears in a particular sport, and try to be the best that you can. Talk a little bit about that process. How long did it take for you once you retired to really understand wow, I'm not playing anymore?
Yeah, it's a great question. I started playing football when I was 8 years old, and then ended up playing 5 years. Went 5 years to school at Florida State, and had a 17-year career. So when I retired, I was 41. That's a lot of time.
Almost beat Brady.
Yeah, it's amazing what that guy's doing. So, but every day there's a sense of what are you doing? You wake up with a goal in mind of how to read coverages better, or how to become a better athlete, or how to take care of your body, get ready for the next season. That's a lot of football. And every day in football is designed like you're on a complete schedule. At 9 o'clock, I can tell you what every team's going to be doing on a Friday. At 1 o'clock, I can tell you what every team's going to be doing in the whole league at 1 o'clock. It's just on a set timetable, you know. And, you know, kind of what you miss, you don't get the free doctors, you don't get the free meals, you don't get the free gear anymore, those kind of things, you know. You got to make your own doctor's appointment, and you have to wait, you know, those kind of things. And I used to wait.
in non-professional life. Trying to talk to
no doubt. You didn't realize how much access you had to things. We had weigh-ins every Friday morning, so I didn't eat on Thursday nights to make sure I made the weigh-ins.
Wow.
But now I eat every Thursday night. But going back to your question, though, when I got done, I was like, holy smokes, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
What am I doing? Like, I got nowhere to go. I got no one to compete with. I got no one to, like, what am I playing for, you know?
Right.
So for about a month or so, I was kind of bored. And then my wife, Nikki, and I, we have two boys, Max and Jake, and they're little boys at the time. I got into coaching big time. And sometimes I'd have two different football teams I was coaching and 5 different basketball teams, and got really involved in the community.
Right.
So right now, I just stayed active. I'm still coaching high school football now.
Nice.
And involved in a couple different charities with the Evelyn Foundation and Beyond Our Borders, and my two different charities I'm involved with. So, but I love coaching high school football. Last 2 years, we went to the state championship. We got a team right now 7-1. Hopefully, we can make another run at it. We didn't win, so I'm still puking from the last 2 years. You know? But the key is to stay busy and stay active. And I started up at 6 a.m. early risers with a bunch of old men to get them going and get them active. We played 6 a.m. hoops 2 or 3 days a week and those kind of things. So I think just staying active is the big thing.
Yeah.
I have a question coming in on YouTube. Feel free to answer. During the Super Bowl against the Raiders, some players claimed they knew the plays that were coming. Is that true? I mean, the whole, you know, Gruden left the Raiders, came over to the Bucs. They called it that Gruden Bowl.
Yeah, no doubt. We knew every play they were running. No, you know, it's so funny. People, they get it so wrong. They get it so wrong on this whole thing about Gruden knowing their plays. He didn't know their personnel. He knew all their players. You know what I mean? But they got a media guide and rosters. Yeah. They knew all our players too. You play a whole season, so we all know each other.
Right.
You know, the deal is they had Gruden as their coach for like 4 years, right? So he didn't change the plays. We kept, if he called a play green right X, shift to viper right, 382 X stick looky, that's what we called it. That's what they called it in Oakland, right?
Yeah.
If we called green right west, F short, 5-2 wide, and as the overheads up for 359 smoke, they would know the audible, right? So they knew our plays probably more than we knew theirs, to be honest with you. So I've never really understood that, you know, because they had
it backwards.
They got it totally backwards. I mean, I can't believe it. People hadn't figured that out. He was their coach. They should know his plays, right?
Right.
It's silly to me, but. Listen, there were some Hall of Famers on both sides of that field.
Yes.
And, you know, obviously we've had 3 guys with Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, and John Lynch, and hopefully get Rondé Barber in there and maybe Simeon Rice. But we had other legends, too, of the Mike Allstott, Keyshawn Johnsons, Joe Jaravicius, Keenan McCardell's. I mean, there were legends all over the field. And for them, I mean, Jerry Rice and Tim Brown and Rich Gannon and Bill Romanowski, they had a bunch of guys, too. But that day was just our day.
Yeah,
we got hot at the right time, and it kind of worked out in our favor that day. But you know, everybody's gone on. There'll be a bunch of those guys make Hall of Fame too.
Yeah.
Even Martin Gramatica.
Yeah,
he was money, wasn't he? He was money. He had a great year. When the toe hit the leather, man, it was automatic. You know, so
that was like Vinatieri for the Patriots.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then I got another question popping in on YouTube. Who's a current active wide receiver you would love to throw to?
Oh, good question.
Well, let me go back real quick, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The 2 guys I always wanted to play with, besides all the great players I play with, were I wanted to play with Torrey Holt as a receiver for the St. Louis Rams. The way he was smart, tough, ran great, precise routes. You could just spot throw him. He would get there. I felt like I think that would have been fun to play with him. And the other one would have been Marshall Faulk. I think because he could catch the ball. I threw the ball a lot to the backs. And I had some great running backs too, but he was special, Hall of Famer. And then, but I think the guy that would have been kind of cool for me to play for would have been Julio Jones. Ooh. Because he has that speed, but I thought he could run great routes.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw the career that, I mean, obviously he's changed, but now with the time he had with Matt Ryan was just elite. Elite. And Matt Ryan's, I mean, if you look at his numbers, he hasn't missed a year of playing, injury-free, hadn't won a Super Bowl, had a chance to win. It was real close, but I love watching his career and the numbers he's put up. He's going to have Hall of Fame numbers left and right. But I think they were a dynamic duo. So Julio Jones would have been fun to play with.
It's crazy because you don't even think of Boston College to produce, I mean, any good players. But then you have who? Hasselbeck, Matt Ryan, and Doug Flutie.
No doubt.
Flutie.
No doubt.
That box of Flutie flakes somewhere around here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it kind of goes underrated. Like when you talk about those kind of guys and stuff, like they were able to deal with adversity, man. You know, they had to play through tough times in Boston College. You know, maybe he didn't get the offer he wanted, or maybe they wanted to go there. Who knows? But they dealt with playing in cold weather. They dealt with maybe not winning a championship and getting the credit that they wanted, but they probably bums in college, but then they turned out to be who they are. It kind of made them who they were, you know? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know, that 2003 season, you know, get into it, that playoff run. What was the atmosphere like that whole run? You know, how was the energy? Yeah,
it was pretty cool. When Gruden took over, the first meeting I had with him, he said, Brad, he pulled me into his office and said, Brad, we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. He said, we're going to win it this year. And, you know, he said, we're going to declare war on our defense, and we're going to make both sides of the ball be great. And how's Monty Kiffin and John Lynch and Rondé Barber, how are they going to stop triple right, F right, 358 Nebraska XC? And how are they going to stop green right X, shift to right, 382 X, take looky? You know, and all these different plays, but we challenged our defense. And John brought in about 15 free agents that year. Very similar to what you saw with Tampa do last year. They brought in like 10 guys. So we upgraded in talent. The Joe Jurevicius, Keenan McCardell, and Robin Oven, and Kerry Jenkins, and Michael Pittman, and Ricky Dudley, and Ken Dilger. The list goes on. But we upgraded, and every game we went 3-1. So it finished at 12-4 as the season, and when the season was over. But about halfway through, October 20th, 2002, we played the great Philadelphia Eagles, and they beat us like a drum. I think the score was like 20-10, but it felt like it was, 65-2. And they'd had our number, to be honest with you. Philadelphia had beaten Tampa the last 2 or 3 years in the playoffs, and that day on October 20th, I cracked my ribs, and it was an ugly day. But we knew the road was going to go through Philadelphia, and so we beat San Francisco in the first game at home in the playoffs. Then went up to Philadelphia's last game in the vet. Cold. Gruden said it's going to be, something bad is going to happen early in the game. We just got to relax and get through it. And it did. Something bad happened. They ran the opening kickoff to our 25-yard line. Next play, Deuce Staley runs a touchdown. They had the towels waving. I'm like, holy smokes. It's going to be a long day. And then we kind of hung in there. And then we had a play we called a triple right, 82 double smash X option. The play was to Joe Jurevicius over the middle. We'd had a hard time moving the ball in the first quarter. He makes a long 5-yard catch, gets us down there. We score a touchdown, and then we kind of ran off with it at the very end, and then kind of with Rondé Barber at the very end, intercepted Donovan McNabb. Next thing you know, we're going to the Super Bowl, and they closed down the bet last game there. So it was pretty awesome. Then we made the next week the trip to San Diego.
Wow. Man, I just got chills listening to that.
Yeah.
Man, because you see it. You see what the atmosphere is like during playoff time, the crowds, and especially playing in Philadelphia. I'm pretty sure you heard a lot from the crowd. A lot of trash talking back and forth, but you ultimately got the job done. My next question is for you. I'm pretty sure you've heard this, throughout. Like, how did it feel? Was it some form of sigh of relief when you got that Super Bowl and you got it done?
It's incredible. When I watch the Super Bowl now, I pinch myself. That's what we did. We accomplished it. For as a little kid, you don't say I want to win the division.
Right.
You don't say that. You want to say I won the Super Bowl. I won a national championship. And so my whole life, I've never won the last game of the season. Never won a state championship. Never won a national championship, and been in the pros for a while, and then hadn't happened. So sometimes you might believe it's bigger than what it really is.
Yeah.
And I remember 1987, a guy named Phil Simms played for the great New York Giants. They beat the great Denver Broncos with the great John Elway.
Yeah.
And Phil Simms, he went 22 for 25 through 3 touchdowns, Super Bowl 21. And he was the MVP of the game. And after it was over, confetti was falling on his face. He says, I'm going to Disneyland, you know? So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so then 16 years later, you know, we're playing the great Oakland Raiders and you know, the coin flip takes place, and there's a guy named Don Shula and Bob Greasy and Larry Zonka. They're out there for the coin flip. And Celine Dion, she's singing God Bless America, and the Dixie Chicks are singing the national anthem, and the whole world is watching.
Man.
You know? And so at the end of the game, it took place. We went 48-21, and the confetti was falling, and my hero, I got to say the same things as Phil Simms. I said, I'm going to Disneyland, you know? The confetti was falling, and actually I got a little picture of it right here. I don't know if you can see it. So that was it right there.
Yeah.
I was with my friend John Gruden and the whole my son Max, who's now quarterback at LSU. He was 2 years old at that time, and my wife Nikki was 7.5 months pregnant with her son Jake, and it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And at the time, confetti's falling. Bon Jovi's down there singing "This Is My Life," and you hear him winning it all by the outfield, and the champions of the world. And tell you a little funny story about it. So after the game, we do all these interviews and press conferences and stuff like that. And so I was doing that for about an hour or so. And so when I got done, I come out of the stadium, I take a quick shower. The buses were leaving. So the buses, they took off. So it's me, my wife, who's pregnant, and my marketing agent named Brian Lammy. We're like, how are we get back to the hotel, you know? So we hitchhiked. Some guys were just walking by. Hey, we need a ride, man. Give us a ride. Hey! So we hop in, we get in their car, and we drive a couple miles. I said, man, listen, we got hey, you got to stop by the Circle K up here. I need to buy a little 6-pack, you know?
Yeah.
So I was drinking a 6-pack back in the back of the car. Celebrating, you know? So then we got back to Team Hotel, had a big party.
Yeah. Wish there was Uber back then.
Yeah. Might not got home.
Oh, man.
Anyways, I mean, looking at the teams that you've played for.
Yeah.
You know, you had Minnesota, Washington. I'm not going to call them the football team. They were the Redskins.
Right.
Tampa. You went back to Minnesota, and then you played a short stint with Dallas. What was your favorite team to play for? I mean, obviously outside of Tampa.
Yeah. You know, I had good and not so good at every organization.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had some great moments, I had some tough moments. So had it with every organization. So had some great runs, you know, and so the thing I'd tell you is I had some great coaches and great players that I played with. That's what I'd tell you about. It was, you know, Minnesota, I was thankful for Denny Green that drafted me, and Jack Burns, who got me at the time, and playing for Brian Billick, and Tony Dungy was there, and then playing with the greats of Chris Carter and Randy Moss and Jake Reed and Randall McDaniel, Jeff Christie, Robert Smith, the list goes on. And then Washington, they were my favorite team growing up as a kid. It was awesome. You know, I grew up watching Joe Theismann and Billy Kilmer, and next thing I know, I'm there. The guy, Mark Ripken, was there, and Doug Williams. I mean, I cheer for them when they won the Super Bowl. I used to walk around in a Redskin jacket as a kid, you know. And then Tampa, I mean, it was pretty awesome, obviously, there. Got to play for Tony Dungy there. And then the Warren Sapps, and John Lynch was my roommate. And, you know, he's now GM at 49ers and all that kind of stuff. And Derek Brooks and Ward Dunn. I mean, the list goes on. And so in Dallas, I had Jason Witten and Tony Romo and all those guys. So I had great legends, great experiences, all of them. You know what I mean? I don't have anything bad to say. Just pretty awesome looking back at some of the coaches I played for. Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips, and just some legends, you know?
Yeah. You know, best advice someone's ever given you, Brad? You know, it could have been as a child or even now as a, you know, adult.
Yeah, I think a few things. I'll give you a few things here. So my dad, he always told me it's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than have an opportunity and not be prepared. So a lot of people, they're complaining they don't No, you're not ready, man. Do the work.
Right.
Do the work. You know, if you get that opportunity, then you can seize the moment. But a lot of people, they don't. They're not ready for when it really comes, and you never know when your moment's going to come. Also, the other thing my dad says is, you got to practice when others aren't. You know, so everybody's going to have a 2-hour practice, but what are you going to do in your spare time? So you get up early in the mornings, you watch an extra film, and those kind of things. And then those, the other, I think it's a big deal. It's like, what can you control?
Yeah.
Not much. So you can only control your attitude and effort. And those are big deals. It's hard to get there. And sometimes you're a victim of your circumstances, good or bad, around you. But the only thing you can really control is the way you prepare and what your attitude and those kind of things. So those are big deals. And I think just love the game. What makes you tick? What makes you tick? That's a big deal for me. And so I had a guy named, this trainer I worked with. His name's Alex Serrano. So I met him in college. And so it's a long story to get to that. But he asked me in college, he said, Brad, why do you play the game? And I said, well, I want to be the starter at Florida State. And he said, nah. He said, well, I want to get drafted, go to the pros. He said, I don't know. That's not a good enough answer for me, Well, I said, well, I want to win a Super Bowl. That's why I play. No. I don't think Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson, they play just to win. I think the reason why they play is to hit great shots, great moments.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And so it took me a long time to figure out what made me tick. And really I call it for the 2-second rule, to be honest with you. It's the 2 seconds. It's to be able to call a play in the huddle. Axe, double right spear, Larry, 735H pump, double K this on 2. I love taking the snap. I love making the audible.
Yeah.
I love dropping back. I got my football here. I love putting the football in my hand. That's what I love.
Hey, I'm open.
That's what's up, baby.
Hey, he's a basketball player.
That's
Yeah.
That's right. But I love dropping back, and I love looking the linebacker off, and then I love giving a high five, and then I love scoring and giving a high five. But all those things I talked about was like 2 seconds. So I'd tell people, like, kind of the question you asked me, what do you play for? What makes you do your podcast? What makes you great? You know what I mean? Find out what makes you tick, and those are the 2 seconds that make me tick.
Wow,
some good advice.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, who would you say, college and in the NFL, who was probably your favorite and worst team to play against?
Well, in college, the team that beat us, I played at Florida State, and we always said one of the things was if you can win the state championship, you got a chance to win the national championship. And so we're Florida State. The other two main teams at that time were University of Florida with the great Steve Spurrier, and then Emmitt Smith. That was during that era, and then down there in Miami, that crew, that was Dennis Erickson and Jimmy Johnson. And so 4 out of the 5 years we beat the University of Florida like a drum, and then 4 out of the 5 years at Florida during that time Miami beat us. That was the wide right. There was a 2-point conversion. So that's how you want to challenge yourself. We didn't come through like we wanted to, and we didn't win the national championship. So that was our biggest nemesis, I'd say. And then in the pros, probably the team I hated the most because I respected them the most was probably Philadelphia. I played against them a bunch, whether I was in Washington or I was in Tampa, and had some great matchups. They weren't always great games as far as numbers and throwing 4 or 5 touchdowns, but just like you knew it was going to be a battle, it was going to be ugly, and those kind of things. So I'd say Philadelphia. Another one was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh they had a bad team, and so they were kind of a nightmare too, But I love the games of playing against Philadelphia. I mean, I love the games against the Packers. Loved the games always playing up in New York. Loved always going up to Chicago. Those kind of games. So it's fun games.
Yeah, man.
Now I know Florida State, Tampa Bay, Gene Deckerhoff.
Yeah, legend.
I love Gene. I love Gene. That's just I think I could listen to him call plays for hours on end. It's just like it comes so natural to him.
Yeah.
Are you friends with Gene?
Yeah, Mean Gene dancing machine. So Gene can do it, man. Think about this stat. He caught every play every play of Derrick Brooks's career in college and the pros because he called every Saturday. He's at Florida State game. Every Sunday he's at the Bucks game, and he's still doing it to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And and he calls baseball there too, and he calls basketball games too.
Yeah,
I mean, he calls it all. So he's really smart, understands the game, great passion for sports, but great passion for Florida State and Tampa Bay Bucks.
That's love.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. He can kick back a few beers too, you know?
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. Two-part question. Funniest teammate you've ever had and the most locked in, laser focused teammate you ever had.
Yeah. The funniest guy, I can't really say everything he did, but it was really Corey Stringer. I don't know if you remember him. He passed away. He's the Minnesota Vikings right tackle, but he was the funniest guy. I can't tell you what he did. TV cameras to say be funny or tell a joke, he wasn't funny, but just naturally around the locker room. And he was a great teammate. He was probably the funniest guy. And then what was the other question? Great.
The most
laser in guy?
Yeah.
Man, I'd probably say John Lynch. Yeah, John Lynch. He was my roommate. He was always dialed in, and obviously he's a Hall of Fame player. But he was that guy. He's a great teammate.
Yeah,
great teammate. And if he had the heartbeat of not just the defensive players, but the offensive players. He was tight with the equipment managers and the trainers, and just he was a great leader. I'd say him and Jason Witten were probably the two greatest leaders on a team. I'm not saying greatest player, and Jason Witten will be a Hall of Famer too, but I'm saying greatest teammate. And but there was a lot of it's really hard to point out. I mean, I could point out 100 guys, but But John Lynch, I'd say he was laser focused.
He was one of my favorite safeties, man. John Lynch. I know he's a Hall of Famer, but most people really don't talk enough about how hard John Lynch hit, how competitive he was. Him and Rodney Harrison were my favorite. Back and forth. It was just hit or miss with those. So John Lynch is definitely a legend, obviously a Hall of Famer, and he got the job done.
Yeah, no doubt. The safety that there's some great safeties, the Ed Reeds, all those guys. But the guy that I really would love to see get in the Hall of Fame, obviously I'm pulling for Rodney Barber, but he's not a safety. But the guy that deserves it, because I think he set the trend for playing in the box, but also could play man to man. Him for the Lambeau leap was Leroy Butler.
Oh.
I think he was the great safety before all the other ones kind of made it. So I hope he needs to be. I think he should be a Hall of Famer.
They need to, man. They need to change the whole Hall of Fame. I feel like we can get in the Hall of Fame, me and you, Dan, right now.
You better check yourself.
Questionable.
I'm joking.
I haven't played football since high school, so.
Yeah. Oh man, that's incredible.
I know you mentioned your son's going to LSU.
Yeah.
How does that feel for you? Him going to LSU. I mean, did he have multiple offers coming in?
Yeah.
And would you have rather him head on down to Florida State?
Right. Yeah, Max, I coached him pretty much out of the womb. And, 7, 8 years old, we're working on 3 and 5 step drops and play fakes and how to take a snap, and coached him all the way through high school. And so he had a bunch of offers, and it's really strange when you go through the recruiting process, half those coaches were fired or left, So the greatness for kids is for them to make their own choice,
Right.
And for Max, he wanted to blaze his own path. So I appreciate it. They've had a rough year this year. They're 4-4 or something like that, but for a lot of different reasons. But he's actually had a great year if you really want to diagnose it. But it's fun now. But I'm a parent sitting up there eating popcorn in the stands. I can't tell him where to throw it or, look out for the unblocked guy and that kind of stuff. But it's fun to watch him. He's a lefty, wears number 14, same jersey I had. And so it's pretty cool. But, now I'm more of a support system for him more than, trying to coach him, those kind of things, But for him, he wanted to choose and blaze his own path. And so it's fun now as a parent just to support him and watch him.
That's all. I mean, usually when it comes down to that, you know, your kids on the field, at least for me, I would always look for my parents. My parents, they'd be the first person I'd be looking for. So I think I would have heard it.
He doesn't look up at us. That's the thing, man. I'm trying to get that Instagram moment and take a picture. You know,
Yeah.
he kind of does his own thing. He's pretty funny, you know. It's crazy. Like, so in his time, actually at LSU already. So they went through a pandemic. Then they all went home, and then you have these hurricanes that take place, and you have kids opting out, and then you have coaching changes. It's been unbelievable. And then, you know, kids not even going to college. They just finally started going to class. They were in their dorms looking at Zoom. So Max was doing an interview, a live interview a few weeks ago after a game. And it was funny because he ended up just looking, instead of talking to the person in the interview, he just like looking straight at the camera because he thought it was like a Zoom meeting. You know, that's all these kids know is Zoom, you know. So it's funny. So our kids kind of grew up like that.
Now, I know we mentioned you played basketball. If you had to choose between the two, we know you love for basketball. You're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh, there you go.
Come on now. I'm ready,
How's
baby.
that form? Okay, there you go. Yep, nice. Follow through.
That's right. Balance out, double follow through.
Yeah.
How would you have seen how would you have seen your future if you would have stuck with basketball instead of football?
I'd have been working at Home Depot. I wouldn't have had a long career, you know. So basketball was my love. I mean, it was my love now. And I was North Carolina Player of the Year coming out of high school, scored 2,392 points, and played 2 years of college basketball at Florida State, went to NCAA's twice. But I was a 6'5" guy that could shoot, but I wasn't a great defender, wasn't a great rebounder, and wasn't a great ball handler. I was a really good passer. But you know what happens? I think my game tapped out in basketball. So if we're playing a game of horse, it's lethal. Okay, it's lethal. But they don't have guys out there shooting set shots anymore. So I would have had a short career in the NBA, but it's amazing when you see those guys up live, how long they are, how athletic they are, and then the 3-point game. That was right when I was coming into college. It was the first year that they had the 3-point line. So that was kind of unheard of, shooting that far. Like I remember in 1986, I believe the 3-point line was experimental in the ACC. It was actually 1.5 foot inside the arc. You know, so the game's changed, but I enjoy watching it still.
Yeah, they need to add a 4-point line.
They should. They
need to. You see
they
Trae Young.
Well, I mean, 5-point line, hell. From Steph Curry, they shooting out now. It's incredible.
They're shooting half-court shots.
Yeah, like it's nothing.
Incredible. Well, you know, your former team, won Super Bowl last year. Watching that, how, you're obviously a part of that as well, being a former player there and a former champion. How did it feel watching them get the job done?
Yeah, we won it in 2003. Bucks hadn't been, I don't think they've won a playoff game in 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when John Gruden came to Tampa, the expectations were high. Like, we're going to win it now, like I was telling you about earlier. And so he made a bunch of moves in free agency. So Tampa had a pretty good defense the last few years, and they kind of unfortunately they just didn't win, Right. And then when Tom came to town, they made moves in free agency. They made 10 roster moves in free agency. The Leonard Fournettes, Antonio Browns, the Gronks, and that list, So defense was phenomenal. They scored 145 points off of turnovers last year, scored 45 in the playoffs. They were 7-5 at one point, like on the brink of what are they going to do. Then they got hot. Tom Brady in the first year of his system, very much like the very first year of our system under Gruden. So the years were very similar, to be honest with you. And but what they did was, they won their last 8 ball games, won the 3 on the road in the playoffs, and then hosted the Super Bowl in a COVID year where they, with no fans. And so it's pretty awesome to see what they did. They're playing great again. So pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Those rings are pretty cool too,
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I actually lived in Tampa once I graduated high school. I lived there for a year, and I actually lived right down the street from Raymond James. So I was working at Cheesecake Factory down the North Shore. No, not the North Shore. It's the International Plaza down there. Yeah. And I had to work Saturdays and I had to work Sundays.
Yeah.
And if you don't leave like 6 hours before your start of the shift, you're not making it to work because traffic, roads were blocked off. It's insane. And I think growing up, I was about 12. It was about the time Gruden came, and I had a subscription to Sports Illustrated Kids, and there was a cartoon of John Gruden with a quote: "If we win the Super Bowl, I'll run up and down Dale Mabry Highway in my underwear." And I had that posted on my wall. I mean, like you said, Tampa was irrelevant up until that point. And I think that was just the turning point for that team. And like I stated before, that was an amazing team, an amazing team that got put together.
Right.
And I mean, I don't really know where I'm going with that. I just want to go ahead and share.
And if you're going to win those things, if you win a Super Bowl, when you look back, it doesn't matter who won it last year or 2 years ago. Those teams, when you win it, you better be good. You better have a little luck. But off those teams, you're probably going to have some guys make the Hall of Fame off those teams. Like, you got to be that good. And you're probably going to have a lot of guys who are Pro Bowlers that maybe didn't get the credit of Hall of Fame, but like they were really, really good, And then you got to just be healthy, and it's got to go your way. And so to win it, you got to have all the above, but you're probably going to have coaches that were like assistants that went on. So like off that team that we had, like just coaches wise, is like we talked about the 3 Hall of Famers and maybe 2 more that might make it. But then Mike Tomlin was an assistant with us. He's gone on to win the Super Bowl in Pittsburgh, and then Rod Marinelli went on to be a head coach, and Joe Barry. We had a bunch of guys that were assistants. They went on to become coordinators. Like, there was a lot of talent on the team. There was a lot of like talent in the coaches too. So you better have everything. That's why I told you, like, sometimes you're a victim of good or bad around you, and that you control your attitude and effort. But we were loaded with all the above, and it still took some luck to go on the way too.
Yeah. That's what I love about the NFL. Like, once you win a Super Bowl in particular, you get noticed as other coaches. They get offered these jobs. And I wish the NBA did that as well. They're starting to get better a lot more every time a team wins a championship. Certain coaches get looked at. But it seems like in the NFL, once that one team wins it, it seems like all the other teams are ready to, offer these different coaches other positions, higher positions. So I really like that about the NFL.
Yeah.
Because they give a lot of opportunities out there,
There's a lot more positions. I mean, there's not.
Right.
Every year you're going to have, Black Monday where everybody gets fired on the last day of the season. But you'll have 6 or 7 guys who get fired this year. Next year will be 6 or 7 after the season's over. So there's more opportunities, and there's a lot of great assistants out there, So
yeah, definitely.
Now, in the near future, do you ever see yourself going back to be a coach in either the collegiate level or professional level?
No. No. The college thing, man. I mean, those guys, not alone, they're held the same accountability as a pro coach, but then you're recruiting kids, you're on the road, you're traveling, you're worried about academics. I don't know how you got to give those guys credit, and they still get fired too, So and you're always moving up. And I think to be one of those coaches, like, honestly, if you're a position coach, you want to become a coordinator. If you're a coordinator, you want to become a head coach. And so coaches, they're always moving, transition. So I'll be honest with you, my 17-year career, I moved enough. I like stability. I love being with my family. I love watching my kids play now and those kind of things. So I like stability of it. But I love watching college football, but because I think it's more fun, just the atmosphere of the bands and the cheerleaders and just the traditions of it. But I kind of understand the pro game better just because I played it better, and the hash marks are different. So but I've enjoyed coaching high school football. I've done it now for 13 years and kind of been active with that. That's about where I want to stay at.
Yeah.
Now I know the kids in high school are getting. I mean, they're getting born a lot later, obviously. But do they walk in and say, "Oh, is that's Brad Johnson," or are they just like, "Oh,
it's Coach.
Coach, what's up?"
It becomes Coach. So it's funny that kind of gets over. You know, I don't ever really go into those kind of things with them. And if you don't know me, you don't know me. And I go as Coach Brad, and I'm the guy that's, you know, carrying water bottles and filling up the footballs with air and just setting up the tents and TVs on the side. You know what I mean? So I love just being a part of it. I think it's great to be a part of something. So that's why I'm doing high school football. And my younger son, he's a tight end for our high school. And so I kind of, you know, I get to be with my son on the field. You know, like I did Max, I get to do with Jake, my younger son. He's actually committed to go to LSU also. So that keeps it fun for me. But what I really enjoy more than the games, I actually love working with quarterbacks one-on-one. I don't charge in kids, those kind of things, but I love working with kids one-on-one. It may be just to help a kid throw a football better. It may be to help a kid become a starter at middle school or JV team, and then how to, you know, some kids go on to play college football too. So there's different levels for all those kids, but you kind of just want to see a kid reach their max potential, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny because it's funny you say that, because where I went to high school, my gym teacher, his brother was Mark Bavaro. So my gym teacher was David Bavaro. And he would come in.
Your gym teacher was Dave Bavaro.
Yeah.
He was my roommate in Minnesota.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah. Dave Bavaro and Luke Fisher. Yeah.
What a small world.
Do you see him ever now?
I mean, I moved out. He's a gym teacher over at Malden Catholic.
Yeah.
And he, like, the first day, I'm a freshman, and I walk into the class, like, all right, gentlemen, swinging the whistle around. He's like, I just want to let you know I used to play professional football, and along with my brother, I'm looking at him, and I'm 14 years old, and he's just built. I'm like, oh my God, like I couldn't stop staring at him. He was just a ball of muscle, and he towered over everybody.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy. Small world.
It is.
Yeah. Well, my last question for you, Brad, because this has been a great time getting to know you, especially. You know, let the people know what you got going on, what else you got going. I know you mentioned it earlier, but if there's any additional stuff that, you know, you would like to share, you know, that people can find you on and you know, see what you got going on.
Yeah, basically, I live in Athens, Georgia, coaching high school football, chasing family, love being with my family. 2 charities I'm involved with are the Evelyn Foundation and Beyond All Borders. You find me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Brad_Johnson_14, and my TikTok is Big Bad Brad 14. Got the greatest trick shots you've ever seen. So keep it fun. We got the and the Big Bad Brad. The merchandise is coming out. It's cafepress.com /Big Bad Brad 14. So all that money goes to charity, and so that's kind of why I stay active and just love being around people. You know, any way I can help out.
That's awesome. It is. We got to pick up some of those hats once they drop.
We have to. Yes, we have to. Yeah.
It's like when I put the hat on, listen, I'm telling you now, it's like Superman having his cape on. I don't make these shots. When you see the TikToks, I know you guys have seen some of them, but like, I mean, it's out there, man. When I put that, it's like I got to have the hat on if I'm going to make these shots. So sometimes it takes a little time to make them. So it's my good luck thing. But, you know, a lot of people have been asking about it, so it's coming out.
Well, I don't know. I saw a TikTok of your wife making these trick shots.
Yeah, she gets into it too. So Nikki 9 is what she goes by, you know. Yeah. I've had Max and Jake, both of them been in there. So sometimes it's a family thing. We have fun with it.
Oh,
that's
man.
awesome.
Yeah.
Family's always important. And you know, I've enjoyed this hour that we've had talking with you. It's been nothing but full of knowledge and like we just said, such a small world. Where my gym teacher and you were a roommate. But
funny.
Yeah, I mean, I love this. This was definitely a great conversation. It was a great, you know, it wasn't just reading stats like we said, going, you know, we had fun, we laughed, and we were just going back and forth, and it's just a great thing that we have. We're gonna go ahead and pick up some hats. If you will, just send us a copy of that link. You have our information. We'll blast it all over the place, and we'll see where that takes us.
Yeah,
very good. Hey, I appreciate you guys reaching out, man. It's fun being with you guys. I know y'all gonna have a great lot of success with what you're doing, and I hope you do a great job with us. I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Thank
we
you, Brad.
appreciate you, Brad.
Hey, get that jump shot right. You know,
it's on, baby. Check that shit out. It's on. It is on.
Next time you come up here, you and Charles 1-on-1.
Oh yes, let's go.
Maybe a game of horse. That's where it's at.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, Brad. It's great talking with you. Good luck in everything.
Very good. Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all.
All right.
Wow. That
Super
was
Bowl champion.
Who would have thought we'd be here?
Wow, we are getting better and better.
Who would have thought? My gym teacher, my one and only, he was one of my favorite gym teachers too. And I used to absolutely kill it in wiffle ball. I mean, you've seen me play wiffle ball.
You're a legend. You're a legend.
I don't know about the great Bambino, but yeah, that was great. I love what he's doing with his merchandise and promoting his charities. That's great, and it's definitely going to be something we're going to go ahead and promote, like I said, because everything is so much better when not only you get something for something you donate. So
exactly,
that's just a wonderful thing. Other than that, I don't know. Do you want to take a break so we can cool off?
Yeah, let's cool off. That was amazing. That was a lot. We had a Super Bowl champion. I'm trying to really understand wow, we just had Brad Johnson on here. Seriously. So that's really good. Yeah, let's come back from break and let's get into these NFL and college football, man. Let's get it going.
Yeah, maybe I got to go ahead and send a direct message to Warren Sapp next.
Hey, that would be great. You never know what could happen.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Wow. All right. I think I'm cooled off.
I don't know. Yeah, I am too. Yeah, I'm very cooled off. Cooled off. Feeling good. Feeling better.
Definitely. I mean, hey, week 8 NFL kicked off. Green Bay Packers are winning 17-7.
Hey, so I have a question for you.
Yes, I might have an answer.
Now, I know, I'm pretty sure Buccaneers are your favorites to go to the Super Bowl, correct?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, wow.
I told you. No. This was I don't know, 3-4 months ago. I said the Bills.
You're right.
Go.
The Bills.
Bills.
I'm sorry. Let me. In the NFC. Sorry.
Oh,
the
NFC. Yes. It was going to be the Bucks. It was going to be the Bucks and the Bills.
So my question for you is: Are you worried about Green Bay? Because I had this same conversation earlier at work today, and a lot of people are saying Aaron Rodgers is coming for Brady, and I'm starting to see it because, man, they're on the roll. They're on the roll right now, and Aaron Rodgers is looking really good.
They are. I'm not concerned about Green Bay when it comes to Tampa. Yes, they're beating the undefeated Arizona Cardinals right now, but Aaron Rodgers in prime time, I believe his record is 8-1 or 9-1, some crazy record like that. Yeah. And I think I saw a stat where he is without Adams, right? Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Devontae Adams, yep.
He's undefeated in games.
Right.
I'm not too concerned about the Packers. Yes, they're winning tonight. Arizona is Arizona. I mean, maybe we're finally seeing what they are, what they're made of. And I mean,
they're young. They're too young.
The loss of JJ Watt. That's one player.
Yeah,
one player off the field. I mean, that's one big player, but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, when it comes to Green Bay, they have weapons. They have weapons, and the funny thing is, Randall Cobb, you never know what you're going to get out of him.
You never know.
And you know, some days he'll only get like 3 targets for 5, 10, 15 yards. Other days he's scoring 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. You don't know, but they do have the weapons. They got the weapons at running back, wide receiver, tight end, and the defense is up in the air also.
Yeah, and if they can play defense like they're playing right now, holding the Cardinals, the highest scoring team, to 7 points, you know, you got something there. But I agree with you, because at the end of the day, for me, it all depends on where the game will be at. You know, is it going to be, you know, out in Tampa, or is it going to be in Green Bay if they are have the pleasure of meeting each other in the playoffs? So, you know, that all depends. But even though Brady can win anywhere, can Aaron Rodgers win anywhere? So that's the difference for me, you know.
Yeah. I mean, here we go. Like I just said, I'm looking right now at the box score. Randall Cobb.
Yeah. What's his numbers?
Who would have thought he would have a touchdown in this game? But like I said, without Devontae Adams, anything is possible.
Anything's possible. Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins is he? I think did he just get injured? Anybody in the chat? Yep, Hopkins exited the game midway through the first quarter.
Oh, first quarter
after making a 51-yard catch, but he also
was not serious.
Yeah, that's one. Yep, 50 yards.
That's a big.
But that's the thing, DeAndre Hopkins. He has been either with his rib injury.
Yeah.
Or he's been up in the air also. They do have players that can replace him.
AJ Green, they got a couple.
And you know, I'm going to keep bringing up his name, Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Mainly because he's on my fantasy team. No, but when it comes to the Bucs and Packers, I'm not concerned. The Cardinals, this might be their downfall. This might be their breaking point, and this is their true test. And I think it's finally showing. I mean, they're getting absolutely demolished at home right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's nothing else I can say about
the Bucs. Are just looking. They're looking unbeatable at this moment. Brady's just on a mission. He's the MVP. I think he's going to win the MVP this year.
They just need to stay healthy.
They got to,
especially that defense. Right? That defense needs to get healthy.
Yeah.
Gronk needs to get healthy. They need to start working on their running back game.
Yeah.
Because you have 3 great running backs, and not a single one of them can really produce.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that goes, man. But man, it's been a lot of surprises so far. I like we talked about earlier. You know, the Chiefs, man, they're just, you know, I think this is the year where they're just like understanding. All right, this is not our year. We maybe, even though they had a couple good signings, getting that offensive line right, signing a couple pieces there, but it seems like it just hasn't gotten put together. Obviously, injuries, but Mahomes, I think they figured him out a little bit, and I just feel like they just need to regroup next year because, you know, teams are figuring out what they do. You know?
Well, who knows? Because they're playing the Giants Monday night, and I'm just going to say it right now. They're going to go from 3-4 to a 500 record. let's be honest. Maybe this is the swift kick in the ass that the Chiefs need.
That's true.
A nice, easy layup win.
Yeah, that's true. But the defense, man, that's the thing too. Their defense is horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible. They can't stop anybody, and I feel like that's why teams feel confident playing against these guys. If you remember, the past few years, teams, you know, I'm not saying, you know, teams are scared, but they know, man, we're going against Pat Mahomes at offense, and in the past, the Chiefs' offense got the defense ready. You know what I'm saying? Even though the defense has always been all right, but they gear up when the offense gears up. But you know, teams are not. You know, even if you're going to Kansas City, or if they're coming to your place, teams are they're ready to go against them. You know.
Now, I mean, looking at this week's schedule,
do
you have any real good games you're kind of concerned about, or any possible upsets? I think I've 2 weeks in a row. I think I've predicted an upset.
I got. Well, is this an upset? Because we talked about it earlier. I got the Patriots winning against, the Chargers, man. And even though it was against the Jets last week, I saw I saw a lot out of Mac Jones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's the Jets.
I get it, but he's improving. He's still a rookie. No matter what. He's still a rookie. He's still got to learn, because he could have went out there and threw 5 interceptions, because
was it necessary for the Patriots to drop 54 on them?
Maybe for their confidence. Because now you're gonna have to score against this Chargers team. You're gonna have to score.
I think they scored all their touchdowns against the Jets.
Because Justin Herbert. Are they on a 2-game losing streak? 3, or did they win last week?
No, they just came off a bye.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
So that's what they needed. They needed that bye.
Yeah. So I like the Patriots, man. I just I think this is a big test for them. And of course, if they win this game, they get back to 500, because they need every win that they can get. And the Bills. We'll see what the Bills look like this week, even though I think they got the Dolphins this week. So that's a win. But, I just feel like this game could be the game of the week on scoring wise, because both teams, their defense are okay. You know what I mean? But
here's the thing. How do you feel? How do you feel about the Deshaun Watson trade rumors?
Ooh.
How do you feel? How do you think that's going to make a sophomore quarterback feel? He's already said. I think he put out.
I saw the quote.
Put out like a double negative. Like they don't not want me.
They do not want me. You just been traded, buddy. Just after that.
But that's the thing. If they do trade for Deshaun Watson, he's not on any list right now.
Yeah,
and he's got a no trade clause.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be able to play this year if he goes to Miami. I think I said he was going to go to Miami, and then I said either the Seahawks or Houston will pick up Cam Newton.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson will not be able to play. He will be, if he gets traded, he'll be put on the commissioner's exempt list. Meaning he's not going to play. He's not going to get paid. Houston doesn't want to pay him anymore.
No, they don't.
And rightfully so. You're paying a quarterback millions of dollars to sit on the bench and not play, just to pay him, and he's taking up a spot on the roster.
Yeah.
I think that's getting in the young quarterback's head.
Yeah. Is it right? Would you? I feel like at the moment they should just do it, because of the fact that Deshaun Watson is one of a kind, and people tend to forget. Now, again, it is a risk, because what if he can't play in the NFL for another year, because they haven't figured this whole case out with him. So, I feel bad for the young guy in Miami, but it's like, what would you do? It's like, this reminds me, even though it doesn't remind me too much, but like, remember when Isaiah Thomas the Celtics traded him for Kyrie? You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Would you do that? I would do that still, unfortunately, because Kyrie's a better player. At the moment,
Kyrie really didn't do anything for the Celtics, to be honest.
They actually did stuff without him.
He was too busy producing Uncle Drew.
So but in the skill sense, it's like, all right, you would do that, because Deshaun Watson is, before all this came out, he was having a great year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would take him still, because of the fact that what if stuff happens, you know what I mean? So what if he does get lucky and he's back in the league and he's ready to go, and he wants to be in Miami. He's said it, and I think it'll be good for the city of Miami and that organization, just to get some new blood and get some new energy.
I think that was a great comparison that you did with Isaiah Thomas and Kyrie Irving, because it all stems from injuries.
Right.
And that's actually a really good comparison.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of happy you said that.
Oh, thank you. I tried. Thank you.
But let's just be honest. Ryan Fitzpatrick was the better quarterback in Miami last year. And
I agree.
This year, believe it or not, Jacoby Brissett was actually better when Tua was injured.
Yeah, and I think, and let's talk about Jacoby Brissett's former team, the Colts. Man, they're going against a good game on this week. And you mentioned the upset. I think the Colts can get the Titans, man. I think they can get them.
They're coming off that 2-game high. They're coming off they're coming off of beating the
Bills.
Just played the Ravens and they beat the Bills.
Yeah,
It's just like Reese said. You have to somehow stop a moving refrigerator.
Oh
in
my
Derrick
gosh,
Henry.
Jesus! I don't know how it's going to be.
I don't know how a guy that big can move that fast. I think they clocked him. They clocked him in during that Bills game. I think they clocked him at like 22.5 miles an hour.
Wow, it's
and
crazy.
Like I said, I didn't even see his feet touch the ground.
But it's like, how do you stop him, man? Like, how do you stop?
You don't.
He's running over 3 guys. If it doesn't matter.
What you have to do is bring Warren Sapp back in.
Let's get Brad back on here. See how we can stop it. No, but seriously, man, I like how the Titans are playing, and I do believe that they're, like you said, they are coming off of that 2-game high, and this is a trap game because this is a divisional game. The Colts really want to get back to who they are, and can the Titans come in there and really set the tone early? And their defense surprisingly has been playing great. But it's either you stop Henry, and again, they're so dangerous. You got Brown on one side and Julio. But Tannehill, I'm still not a believer in Tannehill right now.
I'm not either. We're in the same boat when it comes to that, at least.
Oh my gosh, man! And it's good. He's brought him to the AFC Championship before, but like right now, man, can you trust him in the playoffs? Can you really? And he has to show it. He has to prove it to us that he can get to that next step. And the Bills are in front of you. And bringing my stuff back. The Chiefs, they still, maybe this week this is a game where they can get back, but you still got some good teams in the AFC. So I like that. I like that game in particular. The Titans and Colts.
I do like that. I think it is going to be an upset. I think you're wrong when it comes to the Patriots beating the Chargers. Okay.
Come on, man.
Believe it or not, I do see the Jaguars going into Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah. Seattle needs to sign Cam Newton. They need to sign him.
Cam just came out with his workout video on Instagram. I think it's time. We said last week, Cam finally went out, got vaccinated, did his own research or whatever.
Right.
And whether or not they want to say it, that is a fact that shouldn't even be brought up. And even outside of the sports, these people shouldn't be getting fired because they're not vaccinated. But that's a different topic for a different day.
I don't want to see Funky Friday anymore. I'm tired of these Funky Fridays.
I only watched one, and that was after he got released.
Because he might not say it, but I feel like he's created that because it's a message to the league of saying I still want to play and I'm still who I am, but I'm going to show you that I don't care, even though I do care. But I want to tell my side of the story of certain things, and I get it. And it's a look at people to get to know him even more. But he needs to be in the league and not having his own show right now. If he could do both, fine. But I'm a Cam Newton fan. I had him as an MVP candidate before Bill Belichick wanted to. Which right now thinking about it is a better move because Mac Jones is a better quarterback at the moment. But Cam Newton, I'm always supporting Cam Newton. But I want to see him with the Seahawks. It's smart. It's a good decision to just get him on there. They're struggling.
There's teams. I mean, Geno Smith is he all right?
Smith. Oh my gosh,
is he all right? Man. And even who was it? They just signed Joe Flacco.
He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Crap, who signed him? I'm drawing a blank right now.
I got you.
Joe Flacco. Here we go.
Let's see who get there first.
Oh, Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah,
is he? I mean,
it's Joe Flacco.
Yeah, it's not too. I mean, you're going to take Joe Flacco over Cam Newton?
No.
But that's the thing. I mean, Cam Newton balled out during preseason. Preseason.
He did. He really did. And again, even though I would say certain games that the Patriots lost, I feel like Cam Newton, if he was in there, Cam Newton could have got them out of trouble because Mac Jones can't run. He does hold the ball a lot.
But that all falls on the offensive line. It all falls on the offensive line.
I know Trip Brown they got rid of. Yeah,
they need to experiment some more. They need to do a lot more things, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really digging this Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, I know. It's like 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona just tied it. No, they didn't tie it up. They're down a field goal. Down a field goal, so it's 17-14.
Is the Bucks and Saints? Is that an upset, or is the Bucks? It's in New Orleans, but
no, it's the Saints.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the Saints. It's
a big game. They're 4-2. It's a big game.
It was just shocker that they beat the Packers, but that was also with Jameis Winston.
That's true.
And then you look at their other wins. You know, they lost to, at the time, a hot Panthers team and a hot Sam Darnold.
Right.
But Sam Darnold is finally showing his Jets colors right now. And then they beat the Patriots, lost to the Giants. They beat Washington and Seattle.
Yeah. Everybody's beating Seattle.
Oh yeah. Especially now. I feel bad for DK Metcalf. My fantasy team.
Definitely. Definitely. But yeah, like you said, this week, I'm not really excited.
I'm not. The only game I'm excited for is watching my man Justin.
They're gonna win that game. Patriots, man. Let's go. Let's get Dan.
I thought you were about to change your mind.
No, I'm not scared of Justin Herbert. Not this week.
Come on.
You think he can figure out Bill Belichick? Nah, he can't figure out Bill Belichick.
Absolutely.
What is Bill Belichick against young quarterbacks? What's the record? It's a lot. It's a lot.
Let's see. Bill's been in the game a long time. Different teams. Patriots are struggling both sides of the ball.
I think you're nervous, Dan. I think there's a little bit of like you're like, okay, I see you, Mac Jones. That 54. You wasn't impressed by 54 points.
It's the Jets.
It's the NFL, man. It's hard to win.
It's the Jets. Anybody can beat the Jets. Anybody can beat the Jags. Apparently now anybody can beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
Can't wait.
I don't know. I'm done with the NFL.
Yeah.
Hopping over to college.
Let's go.
Big noontime game. Michigan State. Ooh. You know what side I'm on.
What side you on, Dan?
Michigan State.
2-7-0 teams. I gotta go with Michigan.
Oof.
John Harbaugh is gonna get it done.
No. No.
He's gonna get it done with this team. I mean, I do feel like, you know, this could be another game of the year in college football. Just the fact that, man, can you imagine Michigan in general, man? How, you know, it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for Michigan and as a whole, because I mean, we haven't had these two teams be this good in a while, correct?
That is definitely true.
Yeah. So I mean, who's to say that, you know, is it an upset either way? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do feel Michigan can get it done, but Michigan State is, for some reason, especially you guys have been saying it too. I've still been on the fence, but I'm a believer now in Michigan State because you and Reese in general have been saying, listen, watch out for what is going on with this team. You know,
well, they have plenty of weapons, especially at the running back position in Ken Walker. Peyton Thorne.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The kid is I don't even know words to pretty much describe him. He's been insane. And even the backup, Anthony Russo, when he gets
Russo. In. Yeah.
This Michigan State team is just like I said numerous times before, I don't even know the last time this Michigan State team was relevant. And even Michigan. I mean, Michigan, right. You go back to what, 05, between the eras of 05 and 2000, let's just say 10, 15 maybe. It's not. No. And then this is the year of the underdog.
Yeah.
We'll continue to say this all season long. The year of the underdog, without a doubt, at Michigan State.
And I feel like Michigan needs this. I mean, I took a look at their next 3 games, man. You got Penn State, Maryland, and then Ohio State. I feel like Michigan needs this win more than Michigan State.
Which goes to my point of Ohio State. You know, they're playing Penn State.
Yeah.
Ohio State is due for at least one more loss. And, you know, they do play Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah.
Ohio State is going to lose a couple of games. They're going to drop out of that 5 spot. Who knows what Penn State is going to throw at them this weekend?
Right. Anything.
Penn State, you know, they had a terrible loss, but they dropped very heavily in the standings.
Yeah.
Another game I am looking forward to is Auburn and Ole Miss. Because this Auburn team, right when you counted them out, Bo Nix comes back. I'm still not sold on Bo Nix. He's just a name.
Right.
And, I mean, Lane Kiffin showed what he can do to his old team.
But I see what Georgia did to them a few weeks ago, man. I mean, that. But it seems like Georgia's
Auburn.
It's Auburn. Yeah, it's Auburn. I mean, they had a big win against Arkansas last week. That was fine. But like you said, I mean, this Mississippi and Arkansas game, Auburn game, that should be interesting as well. I think honestly, the game of the week, of the whole week for me, I wrote it down here. Well, not the game of the week. I'm sorry. I talked about it earlier. Cincinnati, man, they're 7-0. They're 7-0. I took a look at their schedule. It's so easy. Tulsa, South Florida, SMU. That might be okay, but then East Carolina. I mean, that's 8, 9, 10. That's 11-0 right there. 4 games. I mean, Cincinnati, man, they just really have been impressing me week by week, man. I mean, how you feel about that?
I like them. I think I said last week or 2 weeks ago, I do see them in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to look at schedule-wise, I would call them the Notre Dame of the top 25, to be honest. They play these crappy teams, and even looking at your Alabama Roll Tiders.
Say it with me. Roll Tide.
I will not say that.
Roll
I will not
Tide.
say that. You see what's happening to Alabama quarterbacks nowadays.
You might as well just crown them. We might as well just crown them. Come on, crown
they're not going to win.
We're not going to talk.
Listen, get ready for the Iron Bowl, okay? Auburn is going to beat Alabama.
What did our Anthony Brown do last week?
Listen, all right.
0-2? 0 touchdowns?
Interceptions.
What's going on with our guy?
Told you, UCLA was the one game of that whole entire season I was concerned about. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson actually got injured, which kind of helped us. But at the end, Oregon started choking. But
is this it for them? This is it. For
no.
And again,
no.
You sure?
No.
But I'm not gonna lie. I've sensed a different energy from you from the beginning of the season to now. Like you
I was high on that Ohio State win. Absolutely. I was riding high for like 3 weeks. And then Stanford rolled in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That was
Stanford.
But I mean, I know you're confident. You're obviously this is your squad, but like I'm not getting the same level of Alabama's like Oregon's like it's like every week they're like, oh, they look, but then like I just don't know, man. I don't know.
Oregon has Colorado this weekend.
Don't lose.
Colorado.
Don't lose.
Oregon's like 25-point favorite.
I know, yeah, I saw that. Big game from Anthony Brown. He's a comeback game, a big bounce back game.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm going to be receiving numerous pictures and videos and all this because my father is out at the game, going to visit my brother.
Hey, you should be out there.
I should be.
You should be out there.
But oh well.
Oh,
I already hit Spencer Webb up. I said, take care of them. Take care.
Let's
of them.
go. Come on, Spencer. And that was no shade at Anthony Brown. I feel like he can play better.
Man, I love Anthony Brown. I love Anthony Brown. I told you I've loved him since BC. You know what? I'm gonna go on a rant. No, I won't. I'm gonna let it be. I'm cooling off. I'm cooling off for now.
I'm just saying, it's the Alabama. I'm an Alabama guy, so I really am rooting for Oregon. But I'm sorry, Dan. You know who the best team is. I just need you to say it right now. The best
definitely
team.
Not Alabama. Clearly, if they're not number one.
I know. Freaking number 3. My gosh,
it's definitely not Alabama. Man, how are you going to let Georgia slide? Do the Georgia slide?
See, and again, and our guy Reese, we keep mentioning him because he's obviously awesome for us. Georgia, man, he told me to watch out for them, man. I'm not scared of them.
They're choke artists.
I know they are, but I'm not scared of them personally. If Alabama plays, I'm really not scared of them. But like at the same time, man, Alabama, we need to step it up a little bit because, we got some partying to do when we win this chip.
Another upset late Saturday game that I have. This will be the last one from me.
Yeah.
Fresno State at San Diego State.
I knew he was gonna pick that one. Yeah.
Fresno's unranked. San Diego State, for some strange reason, they somehow got good. Don't count Fresno State out. Fresno is a good team.
Who they beat this season?
Who have they beaten? Come on, you want to list Alabama's teams that they've beaten? Let's see. Boston High School.
I know.
Who else? Cambridge
Ridge. Nah, but Fresno State is the truth, man. They are balling, man. They gave Oregon a scare.
But Fresno, they gave Oregon a scare, absolutely, and that was a very smoky day in Eugene. But coming down to it, who have they played? They shut out Wyoming. They beat UCLA. They absolutely wiped UConn.
Yeah. Who isn't wiping UConn? They should have won to Hawaii, though. They should have. And Hawaii is not a Hawaii team that I actually like this year for reasons unbeknownst to me. I want to go to Hawaii, but I just they're not really.
No, I was actually shocked that they shut out Wyoming. Wyoming. I was watching that game. Wyoming kind of crapped the bed.
Right.
I don't want to throw any shade at Braden Smith, but their defense looked good. Braden looked good. It was their offense that couldn't get it going. When they did get it going, they got down to about they got in the red zone, started throwing the interceptions.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It's not good. But, Fresno, they got San Diego State, then they got Boise State. 2 tough games in a row.
Right.
And then, that's Fresno for you in a nutshell.
Right.
But I do think this is an upset spot. So be prepared. Get the cowbells going.
Yeah.
Fresno is going to beat San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
World Series. Do we even want to talk about the World Series? It's tied up 1-1. I had the Braves and the White Sox.
You did. At least you got one of them right.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, before we get to them, how did you feel about the Red Sox, man? Like overall, the whole season. What would you rate their whole season? Because
played out as expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Played out as expected.
Not a disappointing season at all. Not a disappointing season.
I'm waiting for the Red Sox Twitter and Instagram and Facebook to go ahead and respond to some of my messages because, as I said back in June when they got hot, they put up on their Twitter page. Remember your tweets from the beginning of the season? Yeah, we do. Yeah. No, going back to the trade deadline. I was complaining they didn't do much. They should have gotten Rizzo. Didn't get him. Went to New York. He did good. Kyle Schwarber didn't really do much until the end of the season.
Right.
And when you're hitting grand slams
Yeah.
I think they scored too many runs against Houston.
Yeah.
In
way too many.
In unnecessary games.
Right.
And then they got shut out, and then they just couldn't score anymore.
Right.
Kyle Schwarber did look good, and I think he just needs to learn that first base position to go ahead and flourish, or JD Martinez needs to go ahead and stay healthy and play first base, or I don't know. Well, you can't. You either have JD or Kyle Schwarber at DH.
All right.
I don't know. I think the whole entire MLB as a whole needs to get rid of that DH position.
Yeah, I never got that right. Well, I mean,
I like the National League just for the fact that pitchers bat.
It should be all around. Like I don't get it. I don't get it because
at least when I played baseball, I batted when I pitched.
Right. Even though 9 times out of 10 pitchers are getting struck out, but which I don't get. How are you getting struck out?
Hey, Ohtani.
I get it, but why are you getting struck out if you're a pitcher? And they're
too focused on their craft of pitching. They're not hitting.
I get it.
I mean, they're still taking BP, but at the same time, they're getting fastball down the middle.
That's true.
all the pitchers got to do when they're pitching to pitchers. Wow, that's like a Dr. Seuss type thing I just said there. When a pitcher is pitching to a pitcher's pitcher, when a pitcher is pitching to a pitcher, that pitcher is expecting the pitch to be
that is a Dr. Hey, you might be onto something.
No, I'm onto nothing. I can rhyme pitch with a lot of other words, but I'm not.
Gonna say.
No, but I mean, all you have to do is throw a breaking ball, and these guys are most of the time. If you watch a pitcher get up there, they're swinging 1, 2, 3,
right?
Or they're just sitting there looking at the ball. Go past them. I don't blame them. I don't even want to try and make contact with a 98 mile an hour fastball.
Oh my gosh, jeez. Yeah,
but yeah, Houston Braves.
Cheaters.
Exactly. The Houston Whistlers versus the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
Tied 1-1. The Braves, let's just put it this way. They're going to stretch this series out to the full Game 7. I don't care. Say what you want about Mattress Mack and all of his millions of dollars he puts on Houston. Who cares? Brings the nuns in to go ahead and bless the team. And this is, what are you doing? Mattress Mack, stick to selling furniture. He's only relevant when it comes to World Series, Super Bowl, and NBA Final. All these end of the season championships. It's the only time he becomes relevant. And most of the times he's putting 30 million, 300 million, whatever he's putting on one team. And then he's hedging and he's putting another half on the other team. Let's be real.
Well, for our guy Reese, let's hope Atlanta wins it all, man.
They're going to.
Hopefully that improves the Wi-Fi out there. No shade, Reese. You know we love you, man.
Oh, there's plenty of shade. We talked to him earlier, and all I could see was a green bar at the bottom of it, at the bottom of the screen. He claimed it was raining.
Right. No, but yeah, definitely for the city of Atlanta. That should, because I mean, when's the last time they won anything? So I mean,
they could have won.
They could have won.
They could have won Super Bowl, but
lost to the GOAT. I mean, they had a great season with Atlanta Hawks last year, but you know they need something. They need some new energy out there. So
they do, and I think this is the year that Atlanta finally becomes relevant again.
Yeah, finally,
they're gonna win. And like I keep saying, going back to Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine.
Yeah,
that was I was a Braves fan.
Yeah, I think everybody was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Either that, I was wearing the hat, the Atlanta.
But
hat.
then they're trying to get rid of the chop.
Oh really?
Why is that? Everything's becoming too political. And,
why is that?
Because of it brings a negative look towards Native Americans, which isn't true because, believe it or not, I forget what tribe it is down there. They embrace it. They love it. They've said numerous times they love the name. They're not the Cleveland Indians changing their names from the Indians to the Guardians. They're not the Washington Redskins changing their names to the football team. They love the chop. They love the Braves. and they support the Braves because the Braves do a lot for. I can't even think of what tribe's down there, but they came out and said that they don't want them to do anything different, and I think that's great.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation these times, man. We're living in. It's everybody's so involved, and I get it. You have to be in certain situations, but it's all about I guess people are gonna have their opinions, and just gotta make the best of it. If they change it, even though it's a famous thing, whatever. All winning heals all. So as long as they're winning,
they're gonna win. They're gonna win. That's it. Let's see. We got a lot of things cooking. Be on the lookout. Charles and Reese take over on Mondays.
Every Monday, 8 p.m. basketball
8 p.m.
show.
NBA, college hoop.
Yes.
We're here. I'm not going to leave you with a cliffhanger. We don't have a guest for now. Next week. We're just going to solely sink our teeth into this crappy NFL ticket on Sunday, and we're going to kick back, watch football on Saturday. Actually, that's why I love college football. You get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and once Mack comes back into play, you're going to get those Tuesday games, and then I even love the spring ball. I love the HBCU teams.
Ooh, shout out HBCU. Yeah.
But other than that, I wish they televised that.
I don't know why they don't.
Not a lot is televised.
I don't know why they don't.
I love Jackson State.
Yeah, Jack. Hey, Deion Sanders, man, is my guy. That famous speech. Oh, not a speech in the. I forget what song it is. I forget what it is, but he has them boys riled up.
Oh yeah,
and, he's doing his thing,
especially when he's out on the little scooter.
Oh yeah.
Foot injury in an air cast.
Yeah, I love it. Shout out Deion.
But yeah, other than that, we're done here. We will catch you guys next Thursday.
Shout out Brad Johnson.
Charles and Reese right here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and always comment in the live chat. We love to engage with our viewers. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere you can subscribe. And we're going to go ahead and get back into this next week. Charles?
Go Mac Jones.
Justin Herbert for the win. That's all I got to say. We'll see you guys later.